Welcome back to Geeking with Discardia.
So, I realize I've been promising a follow-up for the Scuf controller for the Vantage, and I got caught up with holidays, for one. But the other thing was I wasn't really sure what all to put into the video because, quite frankly, there's nothing new as far as to show you other than the fact that controller works. So I figured I'll just do a face-to-face and let you know what's going on with my little cutie head here. So the update with the software that they gave us works great. It's fantastic. There are others who did a more detailed video before the software update with problems, and then did the follow-up of showing exactly how it fixed it. I didn't make one of those videos the prior, so I don't have a before and after to do, but I will link you to somebody that I watched who had a before and after. But as far as the problems go, the software update was fantastic. Let's see, it fixed the dead zone. It fixed the wireless now works. It works properly, which was great because anybody who ordered the wireless as opposed to strictly wired, it was like $30 more. So without the wireless working, what was the point in paying extra money? So it was nice to finally get that working. It did take an extra step. There were extra instructions after the software update on how to get the wireless working properly. And if you go to their website, they have the whole description. There's a video and everything on what to do when you get started, what to do with your controller, how to plug it in, what's going to happen to let you know, no, don't be worried, because the controller lights up and makes some sounds. It sounds like it's breaking, but it's not, I promise. But it does sound weird. And I didn't even know the controller could make those sounds, so that was kind of funny. But yeah, so everything got fixed. The buttons work better. They respond well. Yeah, so I was just very pleased after the software update to see that pretty much the complaints that everyone had, including myself, before the update were addressed, fixed, and seem to work now. The only problem I have with the controller now is that if I leave it in, if I leave the plug-in, sorry, because I've used it for wireless, so now I'm charging the battery. So I will put it on the plug to charge it and use a different controller, or the system's off, and I have come to find that the controller every every half hour or so, it tries to connect itself. So if I have it plugged in, it's not just sitting there trying to charge. It's charging, but it's also continuously trying to reconnect itself. Gets a little annoying because if I'm playing a game on a different controller, every half hour or so, that controller pops up all of a sudden where it takes you to the user screen and asks you to pick a user. And because of the way the PlayStation works, I can't use my controller to back out of it. I have to actually get up, go to the controller that is trying, the Vantage controller, and tell it no, back out of it in order to get it to go back to my screen. Which on some games this is no big deal because it's not going to hurt me, but this was happening while I was playing Fallout 76 with my sister. And if you're in the middle of a battle and people are trying to shoot you, you don't want the screen just suddenly going away and you have to run and get up and get rid of the, user screen in order to not die, which, sometimes happened anyway. So that sucked. And I had to unplug the controller while I was playing Fallout 76 because it happened like 3 times when I finally realized that it wasn't going to stop happening. I was hoping that, once it had done it and I told it no, that it would stop, but it didn't. So that's been my only complaint so far since the software update, is the fact that it will boot you into the user screen and can get you killed if you're playing an online game where the game doesn't pause if you're away. A lot of games will pause if you're away, but online games, as we all know, there is no pause because other people are playing, so there's no time frame for a single player for you to just pause the game and do something else. So yeah, that'll get you killed. And even when I wasn't playing, there have been a couple of times when I had turned the system off and I walked by the room later to find that the system was on, that the TV was on, and that it was sitting there on the user screen, or it was on the, press the PS button, like it had timed out from the user screen, but it was just sitting there still on, waiting for me to make a decision. And so that's not cool either, because I don't want my PlayStation just sitting there on with the TV on, because I have it set up to where, when you turn the system on, it'll turn the TV on. And I don't really want it, sitting there with both the TV and the console on all day without me purposely turning it on. So yeah, as far as charging it, I hope it charges quickly, because otherwise it can't be left on if you don't intend on playing with the controller while it's plugged in. You pretty much have to unplug it, or at least mine does. I have to unplug the controller if I'm not actually going to be playing with it. Otherwise, these problems pop up and it just continuously tries to reconnect with the console and it never dies. And it didn't matter. I switched the button and everything. I thought maybe if I put it on the wired mode, it'll stop doing that. It didn't work. It was still doing it. So, Scuf, if you're out there and you have a solution, or anybody else, if they've had this problem and have found a solution, or Scuf has given them a solution, please let me know. Otherwise, that is my only complaint for now. I otherwise love the controller. It works great now. The software update did everything it was supposed to. Unfortunately, there is one glitch left on the controller that wasn't something I noticed before. So it's apparently a new glitch that possibly came with the software update. So, they fixed all of that and brought me one, but I'll take the trade-off, because as far as a glitch goes, it's fairly harmless as long as I keep it unplugged, and I just have to use the controller while it's plugged in for a little while to make sure that it gets charged up. Not the hugest complaint in the world. So anyway, if anybody else has been having this problem, let me know. Put it in the comments. If you have any suggestions on how to fix this, let me know in the comments, please. Otherwise, keep on geeking.